Hello, friendos and bendos. It's me, Z, and I'm here to talk about the Clown Princess of Crime. No, not Harley Quinn, Punchline. If you don't know, Punchline is Joker's new sidekick, introduced back in 2020 during James Tynion IV's run on the main Batman title during his Joker War arc. If you also don't know, Punchline as a character seems to get a lot of hate on the internet, and this very much intrigued me. Whenever I see Punchline brought up online, it seems that her existence is always met with a groan and questions like, who cares about this character? Why does she even exist? And a myriad of other things.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
I, having completely skipped out on Batman during this run, on the character pretty much had no reference for if these responses were justified or not. I didn't know a single thing about Punchline aside from her being Harley's replacement. So, I did what any reasonable person would do, and I read every single comic appearance of Punchline to see if she deserves the hate. And honestly, I don't think she does. In fact, I think after reading her story arc from her first to her most recent appearance, I think a lot can be explored with Punchline. And most of DC's ideas for her as a character are pretty solid. Now, I don't see Punchline as a perfect character or anything. Honestly, she didn't even get into my fave Batman-related characters after reading so much about her. Nevertheless, I have to say that I really enjoy her, and given enough time and good writing, she very well could become a favorite of mine. So, who is Punchline, and what makes her compelling to me? Well, Punchline's real name is Alexis Kay, a girl from Gotham who lived a perfectly normal life until one moment changed his trajectory forever. During a field trip to a TV station, the Joker attacked and killed several people because,
Well, I'm the Joker, baby.
he then picked her randomly out of a crowd and held her at gunpoint so she could read a message on the air. Managing to survive after the Joker was stopped, Alexis's worldview changed. The experience left her fascinated by the Joker and his crimes. This obsession, most likely a trauma response from, being held at gunpoint, left her wanting to know everything about him. She found information in obscure forums and discussed it with others. She listened to old recordings of interviews. She went to the sites of all the Joker's crimes, big and small, old and new, and she came to a conclusion. The Joker was sending some type of message. Alexis viewed the Joker as someone who was trying to tell the world to wake up, that his crimes were about the meaninglessness and ridiculousness of modern human life. She slowly became disillusioned and misanthropic. She became a nihilist and started viewing other people as asleep, unaware of true reality. Once she was in college, she researched the Joker's toxin and tried to replicate his formula. She tested it out on homeless people, then former high school classmates that she despised. That was when the Joker found her and realized the nothingness in her, the void where her soul should be. Asking her to kill the dean of her college as a final test, she passed with flying colors and became the Joker's new right-hand woman. This backstory honestly was incredibly interesting to me, especially as I continued to read her stories. Punchline, while a psychopath, is also troubled. She was essentially broken by a close encounter with the Joker and ascended into niche internet subcultures and obsession which further radicalized her to becoming a terrible criminal. Punchline's basically the polar opposite of Harley, too. While Harley had a terrible childhood and managed to persevere before the Joker continuously preyed upon her insecurities, need for love, and the need to see the good in others to make her his pawn, Punchline did this all to herself mostly. The Joker started it by almost killing her, but he didn't personally mold Alexis into a psychopath like he did Harley. It was Alexis who searched for meaning. It was Alexis who became a part of Joker's fan groups. It was Alexis who lost sight of her humanity and became a murderer. In a fight with Harley during the Joker War, Harley and Punchline have a conversation. Punchline calls her a has-been, someone who couldn't handle the Joker's truth. And do you know what Harley does? She pities her. She tells her that she understands her on some level. While she thought the Joker had a heart, that all he was looking for was someone to love him, Punchline thought the Joker had a brain, that his actions were anything more than simple violence and chaos for the sake of it. Honestly, the character's concept is kind of genius. The Joker is meaningless and chaotic. He wants to break people, their mind, heart, and soul. The reason he adores Batman so much is because he sees Batman as the ultimate challenge, the one person who seemingly won't break no matter how much he tortures him. Punchline is a result of the type of madness that is the Joker. There was no meaning as to why he let her live, just as there was no meaning to the reason he poisoned all the fish in Gotham Bay. But struggling to comprehend this, Alexis let this one bad day shape her and mold her into something inhuman. She's what the Joker wants for everyone. She is the person broken by chaos. She's the ultimate victim, someone who looks at life and can't help but to just laugh. Joker became interested in her because she, a normal girl, was twisted and destroyed and made into a black hole of a person because of something with no real meaning. To the Joker, the concept that life is sacred is a joke, and the fact that he was able to break her and make her think the same, that's the ultimate punchline. Okay, while origin stories are all well and good, that doesn't necessarily mean the character is fun to read. You can have a character with tons of potential, but if you don't do anything with them, that potential is wasted, and you get a terrible character who people insist just needs a good writer, bro, which can be said about literally anyone. But Punchline does have some good stories. Well, one good story. The others are like, okay. But the one good one is pretty damn good, IMO. During Joker War, Punchline didn't get too much good stuff. She was really just an accessory to the Joker at the end of the day. A fun character who it was fun to hate and see interact with the Joker, but an accessory nonetheless. It wasn't until after Joker War that we got a real-ass good story with Punchline in it. The story is entitled Punchline, The Trial of Alexis K, and it follows the aftermath of the Joker War. It's about Punchline standing on trial for her aid of the Joker. Problem is, she's getting support from the public. Punchline, being terminally online, knows exactly how the internet works and how people interact with it. She posts a sob story video about how the Joker manipulated her and used it to pivot the blame onto societal issues instead of her own actions. Without direct evidence connecting her to her crimes, before or after her involvement with the Joker, we see Harper Row, aka Bluebird, a pretty recent Batman ally introduced in Snyder's run like Duke Thomas was, try to find the evidence needed to take Alexis down. Doing so, she uncovers Alexis' history, witnesses in shock how her own brother was radicalized by Alexis' messaging, and eventually fails to have the charges stick, resulting in Punchline being able to live scot-free. The reason I like the storyline much more than her other recent storylines like Gotham Game or her Night Terrors tie-in, both of which seem more to show how totally badass Punchline is, the trial of AK instead explores how a figure like Punchline, transformed by the internet, can then further change others. And honestly, I love it. This story, as well as others, also seem to both acknowledge Punchline's past, but in no way try to redeem her, which I really like. Sure, she was traumatized, and sure, she was radicalized by the internet, but at the end of the day, she's still a piece of shit asshole. She doesn't care about others and barely cares about herself, too. She murders and tortures and fucking introduces drugs to low-income neighborhoods like she's some kind of CIA operative. None of that shit is redeemable, and she honestly should never be, because that's the point of her. So, to end this video, I'm gonna answer the question I asked the title. Does Punchline deserve the hate? My answer? No. I can see why DC seemingly constantly gives her new books, and why it might also seem annoying to others when there's other lesser-known characters who have existed for longer who deserve some spotlight. Sideways. But I think her concept is genuinely super interesting. I'd love to see her be the main bad guy for a future Batman title. I think that might be the push she needs in the public eye. She's not the best, or even close, but to see her get so much backlash is honestly kind of sad. But that's just what I think. What are your opinions, friendos and bendos? Leave a comment, and maybe also like and subscribe while you're at it. I'm also super interested in any video topics you think I should cover, so maybe I mention them as well. Anyway, it's been me, Z, and I'll see you another time. Bye!